Greetings, everyone. I am here to share my GPA experience of SIBMB with you all, that is SIBM Bangalore. So, let's get started with it. First of all, some general information. As you can see, there were two slots of GEPI. Mine was the morning slot that started at 8:45 a.m. in the morning and ended at 12:45 p.m. in afternoon. So, yeah, it was a process of around 2 to 3 hours. The process was as mentioned. First, we were asked to turn on our videos and give our attendance, like they were randomly calling the candidates' names, and we were asked to give our attendance. And along with that, we were asked to show our documents, which were mentioned in the mail earlier. Like we were asked to keep our documents at certain distance from the camera, and that way they verified our documents. After that, we had a halt of 30 minutes, and after that we had our group exercise. After a group exercise, we were asked to leave the meeting room, and according to the list shared on the WhatsApp group, we were having a personal interview. So yeah, there were around 10 candidates in my batch along with two students of SIBMB. So yeah, let's get started with it. As mentioned, first we had our attendance, and along with attendance, we were having our document verification process. So it started at 8:50 a.m. The following documents were asked to shown. That was first was the ID proof. ID proof can be your Aadhaar card, your voter's ID, your passport, or your driving license, anything which you are having. Then they asked us to show our SNAP admit card, and then SIBMB call letter. Then after that, the attendance and document verification happened. We were having a ice breaking session where two students were there in the meeting from SIBMB, and they kept the session where we were to introduce ourselves, in which we were asked to tell them from where we belong and what we do in our free time. Basically, what are your hobbies, they asked. And yeah, one by one everyone introduced themselves, and it went for good 30 minutes. It took 30 minutes, and in the meantime they shared the WhatsApp group link in the chat box, and we were asked to join the group. After that, they quit the meeting, and they leave the meeting room, and the invigilators entered the meeting room, and we were having our G session. So in the group exercise, first we were shown two PPTs. One was of Symbiosis International, and the other one was of SIBM Bengaluru. And after that, we were shown the instructions of G on the screen. The instructions had the basic details, like what it will be. In the instruction itself, they mentioned that there will be some pictures, and we have to connect them accordingly. And then after that, we will be given a time of 1 minute to think about it, and then after that each candidate will be called randomly, and they will be asked to speak on it for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, they used to cut the candidate, despite of the fact that they're done or not. And after that, when the every candidate spoke on it, they gave us 5 minutes, and the floor was open to all. There was no time limit on any candidate. We had a group discussion on the topic, and then we had to conclude our viewpoints. Like they asked one of us to conclude our viewpoint. So yeah, group exercise was quite smooth process, and it was a fun one, I can say. So yeah, it started at 9:30 a.m. and we were showed two pictures and then we were asked to analyze and connect them for a minute. And then each of us was randomly called to speak on it for 30 seconds. After that, we had 5 minutes for group discussion. The floor was open for all, as I mentioned earlier. And at the end, we had to conclude it. After this, we were asked to leave the meeting. I would like to tell you about the two pictures shown to us. So there were the two pictures which were related to the 90-hour per week controversy. In first picture, it was the news headline, and in second picture, it was the graph showing the average working hours a person works of different countries, including India. So it was not directly, we were not directly told about the topic. We need to guess it by looking at the pictures and connect the dots. That was the group exercise. And after that, we were asked, we were called randomly and asked to speak on it for 30 seconds. And after that, as I told earlier, there was a group discussion of 5 minutes and then we had to conclude the topic. When the GE, the whole process took 10 minutes. It was of 10 minutes, and we were done with our G. And then we were asked to leave our room, leave the meeting room. Then, after that, as I told you earlier, they asked us to join this WhatsApp group through the link. So, on the WhatsApp group, they shared the list of personal interview, like the order in which the personal interviews will take place, and according to the order they called upon the candidates for the personal interview. It started at 10 a.m. Then the duration of interview, like for each candidate, it was around 10 to 12 minutes, and there were two panelists. Here I would like to mention that the invigilators which were in the GE session were the panelists in the PI also. There were no different sets of people for GE and PI. The invigilators were the panelists in PI. So yeah, here are some questions. There were two panelists at one time. Panelist one asked her questions, and after that, when she was done with her questions, the panelist two took over the mic and asked the questions. So here are some questions from panelist one. As you can see on the screen, there were around 10 to 11 questions. These are some questions which I remember. First of all, they asked me my favorite subject, but the thing over here is they didn't ask me questions from that only. They asked me questions from any subject concerning to BCom honors. It was not like that I told them my favorite subject and the questions were revolving around it. No, they asked me questions from my course. Then after that, she asked me one situational question, which was, if you were made a Prime Minister of India for a day, then what policy will you form for your country's economy and why? She gave me a time of 30 seconds, and in that 30 seconds, I need to think. I was asked to be prepared with my answer, and then she gave me a good amount of time to answer that question. There was no time limit to answer that question. Then after that, she asked me like why SIBM Bengaluru. So you need to be thorough over here. Like they really expect you to say good points over here. Like why you need to like that why you want to get enrolled in the MBA program of SIBM Bengaluru. After that, when she was done with her questions, the panelist too took over. So he didn't ask much questions. He just asked me about my extracurriculars, which I mentioned in my SIBM form earlier at the time of registration. And then he asked me this question like, why, how do you think MBA will going to help you? So yeah, it was a sort of why MBA question only. Then after that, he randomly asked me at last, like, how much a company need to spend on CSR activities. Then I answered the all the questions. Like there were some of the questions which I didn't know, but they were okay with that. Like it was not a grilling one. The whole process went smooth. The PI was really smooth. They they were not at all grilling me, even if I don't know the answers of consecutive questions. So yeah, after the panelist two was done with his questions, so I was asked to leave the meeting room, and I was asked to fill the feedback form which was shared on our WhatsApp group, and also I was asked to leave the WhatsApp group as well. So yeah, this was a really smooth process, and they asked us to keep calm, and they tried to make us normal and reduce our anxiety and nervousness. And it was not a grilling one, but yeah, what they expect from you is to be thorough with your course, with your graduation subjects. Like what I think my whole experience was good, but yeah, they expected me to be thorough with my graduation syllabus, and they can ask any question from any subject of your course. So yeah, just be thorough with that. So this was the whole thing. I hope I briefly explained each and every process. So yeah, thank you so much.